Dora and the Lost City of Gold isn't exactly a film that everyone asked for. However, it has a nice place in this year of just existing and being a fine and average watch that has a lot of charm to it in certain elements. I'm Hay, and today I'm going to be reviewing Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
But exploring is not a game. And you don't look before you leap.
I'm okay, Boots.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold comes to us from James Bobin, who's had a very interesting track record as a director. He started out with the Ali G show, which is definitely an interesting beginning into comedy. And I think some of that directing capability shows in both The Muppets and The Muppets Most Wanted, two really well-directed films in terms of what Muppets movies are, in my opinion, as a huge fan of the Muppet genre. So, I was still excited when I was seeing the cast for this film. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer a Hispanic director to tackle something like this. I don't know, it's just one of those films where it's like, why was he the director that was chosen? There's one scene in particular where I think his stamp, especially with his work on The Muppets, is shown, and it's a really well-executed scene. But overall, I just don't get the choice that was made here. Dora and the Lost City's cast is really, really concerning in that there's a lot of people that are horrendous and people that are really good. Michael Pena is an actor that I usually consider to be really funny. He is not utilized well here. I don't know what the case was, but, this just really didn't play to his strengths. I'm really not a Eugenio Derbez fan, as most of his works like Overboard and Instructions Not Included and How to Be a Latin Lover haven't really wowed me just from what I've seen of them. And his brand of comedy is here, and that sort of sinks a lot of the goodwill of some of this film. However, I think surprisingly, the teen cast was fine. Specifically with Isabelle Moner, who's playing Dora. She does an excellent job of just putting in this life in a character that could ultimately feel pretty, I don't know, just sort of comical or forgettable based off a TV show. It's really hard to nail these realistic sensibilities. I think the actor that plays Diego is pretty good as well in certain parts, especially when he's sort of finding himself towards the end of the film. The other two that are in the group are really serviceable and good in a lot of parts, but they force this weird dynamic with the group that I really didn't like. Overall, there's a lot of things that really drag the film down that make it cliched and not as fun as when Moner is able to just embrace what that character would be like in the real world. There are some great scenes. This would probably be the only reason I recommend it, so I'm not going to bring them up. I actually was semi-spoiled on one of the scenes in particular that I thought was excellent. But I think there are moments here that are a great film. Overall, it doesn't quite get there. Just in terms of what goes into making a film, I don't think there's that much here in terms of displaying like the talent. That's not to say like Dora the Explorer has to have, amazing cinematography. I mean, this, when it was announced, like, I'm not going to lie, I thought this was the biggest of jokes. I forgot to mention this, but Benicio del Toro plays Swiper, and I think they actually utilized that character really well. What's funny to me is the part that I thought would be the most cringy of them sort of adapting this TV show into the modern day really works well. To the point where I just think whoever was in charge of doing the other bits, maybe they should have leaned in that department more. If I had to give Dora the Lost City of Gold a score, this is a little difficult because I don't want to sound like I'm too harsh. I'd probably go 5.6 out of 10. It's one of those where there's a lot of scenes that sort of hold it down, but there's a lot of scenes that sort of lift it up, which brings to a middling score. So don't think of that being like the experience was bad. I went with my family. I had a decent amount of time. I had a way better experience than Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So if you're looking for something in August, in this weird month, I'd recommend this. Also, I think Austin's about to do a review for Good Boys. I've heard a lot of great things for that. So that's another film I think is worth checking out for the month of August. But that's my review for Dora. Let me know if you guys saw it, what you think, what's your favorite Nickelodeon movie. That is all. What did you think about Dora? Great. Bye.